All right, what is going on, YouTube? We are starting the stream. All right, let's go. Let's do some random stuff tonight. The reason I started late tonight is because I think a lot of people don't really come hang out until probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock anyways. So I think I should just kind of like keep my stream maybe like a little bit later in the evening, at least on Friday night, right? Maybe on other days we can do different times, but let's do some chilling tonight though. Realistically speaking, there ain't a whole lot to do in this game at this point. I can talk about the porcelain tower. It's just man, I don't know how to best describe this thing. It was pretty rough. It's pretty damn rough. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll go ahead and do some. Let's get my arenas and stuff out of the way, I think. Maybe I'll do my guild battle in a little bit. All right. Let's see. What do I got to do? I'm getting lazy, man. Like, I didn't even do all my story quests. That's a lot. I don't know if I can get that done in 3 days. Far plane's done. Battle's done. Chocobo, I got 4 more of those. Let's get that going here. I can do this. About everything I want out of here. How many do I need? How many do I need? I need 125, so I gotta buy this. I buy all eggs. Sakura, frozen. I don't need to get that. I don't know what that is, but let's buy it anyways. Buy all this crap here. How did I get so many of those? All right, I'm gonna do some arena because what's today? Friday. So as you can see, I got to 2,671. That's actually not bad for me. Essentially, all I really do is I look at my party formation and then I just switch up the cards. You do get a nice little bonus nowadays though. So I guess let's look at some dudes. That's magic and slash. So this is slash and magic. It's kind of nice that it actually tells you the bonuses. So we're slash there. Slash to get that bonus, that fat daddy bonus. I don't need to wear this because it does give me slash resistance, but I'll still get the pierce. I'm going to use this. Magic, magic. 5 agility, 8 evade, 5 agility, critical evade. That's actually really good. 25 spirit. What I'm doing arena, it's kind of like I don't even look at them, you know. Well, we got rid of that shield pretty quickly. Since she's so fast, maybe I should have had her. Yeah, maybe I should have her cast shields and whatever. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Am I gonna lose this fight? I guess it depends on if Sakura does anything crazy. No, that didn't do anything, so. What's going on, man? How you doing, King? I didn't advertise tonight for stream, so we'll see what kind of turnout we get. I essentially made my little Leela faster. We are in champion, huh? Aren't you like happy that we're in champion? I mean, I don't know if I'm happy, to be honest. It seems like it's gonna be more work. Let's see here. Let's change some things here. That's weird that she didn't. Oh, you know why? Because that fool was in range. That's why. I want her to cast all this stuff. Just have her do all this random stuff, you know? Turn all this crap off here. I want her just to cast things in the background. I'm playing lesser now. Yeah, me too. Like, I'm just trying to concentrate on this one account, more or less. I want to be able to play different games on the channel, you know, at the same time. This might be a hard matchup. I did lose to a nasty team yesterday in Guild Wars. I like to find missile teams. Like, this is a missile team, right? They got a lot of evasion. I don't have any guaranteed hit guys, but they're easy teams to take down, man. They're like the easiest team to take down. At least for me, anyways. Like, so this is slash magic. Okay, Pierce. All right, we want to say poo-poo to that team. Poo-poos. Oh, look at that. Here we go, boys and girls. Go ahead and switch this to my missile resistance. Switch this to my missile resistance. Oh, look at that. That's even in a bonus. And then switch this to... Actually, I'm gonna switch this to missile resistance. I kind of wish this was a +5 now because of the... But this game is like very frustrating right now for me because it's like I gotta farm so many books. Missile resistance, look at that. Let's take a look at how much missile resistance I have now. 48% missile resistance. What else do they got? They have a slasher. It is a time-consuming game. So that's why I was realizing playing too many accounts. Probably seems counterproductive, you know. Hey, IML, how you doing? Placing bets on GME shares. I'm hearing that. Like, I know it's becoming a meme, but I'm kind of clueless to what's actually going on. I heard something about GameStop stocks. I just saw a title to an article that said that like 9 people or 7 people got like $16 billion off of GameStop or something crazy. I don't know what's going on with all that, but I'm gonna go with this slash here. Now watch I lose to this guy. I'm gonna become a meme myself. I think there's some kind of situation going on in the States where like a lot of I don't really know what it is, but it has something to do with stocks. That's all I know. Stocks. Look at my haircut, seriously. I'm looking more and more like K-pop, man, for real. Either that or look like scruffy look going on. I'm not gonna lie though, I feel very warm. I feel very warm with this hair. I do want to cut it. Oh wow, look at how much missile resistance I have. I'm gonna lose. Look how much damage they dealt. I'm gonna lose, guys. Wow, this team is stacked. Actually, no, that's not much damage. For some reason, they were attacking my... They're both slowed. Let's see what happens here. Alright, I got one of them in the back. See, look at that. They just simply don't put out enough damage once you close in on the sharpshooters. Believe in Cecil. What? Seriously, what the hell is Little Lita doing? She's literally hanging out on the other side. Auguria so far has been doing her thing. I have slash attack resistance, so she's just not going to do that much damage. I think that team would have cleaned up the floor against a lot of teams, huh? Isn't that crazy? That team was actually solid. I underestimated them, and then of course I almost got slaughtered. Wow, I think I should have put the missile resistance armor on Homegirl. What's going on, Ben? How you doing? Let's find another stupid comp to mess around with. I don't want to say stupid comp because that's terrible. So I think what I'm going to do is they're all going to come towards her. We're going to put... This doesn't do much for him. Defense. So I need something with higher defense, huh? I need something with higher defense and crit evade, perhaps. Oh, look at that, crit evade. I think that works. Wait a second, isn't that that's an accessory. So let's see if we have... I probably should craft another one of these bad boys, huh? Yeah, I need another armor. How about this one? This one will work, right? I mean, it has magic resist. They're using Warrior of Light, so not a whole lot to worry about in that sense. I think it's better to wear this. So I'm gonna put this on here, and then have the missile resistance on this. I really like the fact that they're giving us bonuses on these. Like, isn't that nice that they're giving bonuses on the vision cards? I should have covered this. I mean, everyone can see it when they're doing the thing, but it's just a nice coverage. Oh, this is the full light team. Believe in Cecil. This looks pretty solid. They might actually beat me up pretty badly too. They're really about anti-slash. I was actually targeting this team. Think I can beat this team? .60 defense though, huh? You know what? Let's go against Magic instead. Let's go against Magic. So that is Dex and Agility, so I want that to beat this here. Let's go with Magic. You know, this is seemingly to be a lot of work. Then we can put on our armor that has Spirit, which will be that one. And this will be Magic, of course, +5 barrier. And then this will be, my friends, anti-slash. I might get beat down. Can I say, with Kane help me with his friendship, I need 5/5 hard Alim quest. I started once a month ago. It's a pity we lost the guild. Yeah. So for those of y'all in chat, welcome. We fought against Diggs Guild yesterday, and we lost. But I don't think it's because we couldn't beat them. I think it's because some players didn't participate in Guild Wars or something like that. I don't know. I didn't look at the final results. So. Can any help me with this friendship? I need 5/5 hard. Yeah, we can do that later, Pablo. In fact, I think we're gonna farm that up in a little bit here. Go ahead and take out Sakura. Oh no, didn't kill her. So Auguris has taken over the battlefield, so I feel a little safe. There it is. Slow them down and almost GG'd right there. And that should be match. I mean, by the way, this map is all favoring light teams, right? So light units. I gotta cut my hair. I wanted to farm books, but Pablo needs some help with the Aline Brutal. Is that what you need, Brutal? Or you need regular? I started stream late tonight, by the way, because I think most people don't come to my stream till about 10:30 anyways. And I didn't advertise tonight either, because I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to stream tonight, to be honest. But I feel like up for it. What's going on, Coy? How you doing? So let me do my guild war real quick, and then let's do some farming, boys and girls. And then we can discuss some topics at hand, right? Looks like we're getting beat down again tonight. We got a lot of 6s though. Let's see, how many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 folks, so. Brutal. Yeah, we'll do brutal. Just let me finish this guild war, Pablo, and let's do some brutal. All right, lot of teams left. Right off the bat, I got beat up pretty hard. I don't really like attacking Magic teams because I usually get pretty slaughtered. Number-wise, this seems doable, but it could be a tricky team. So I'm looking at Mr. P Cloud or Scar. Huh. First off, what do I got going on? What is it? So I got slash resistance and normal resistance and missile resistance. All right, then that makes it easy. Lately, I haven't really had a lot of. Hey, Ellen, how you doing? Hey, Ellen, do you need to do brutal? Or did you do brutal with us last week, or do you need to do brutal for the staff quest as well? I see what they're trying to do here. They're gonna try to break barriers and then snipe you with their Frederica. Now that comp right there, those three might be very nasty. That might be a very nasty team when it comes to level 120 though. Oh, never mind. She got one shot. Was a great night for me tonight. Oh, awesome. What do you mean great night? What happened? Oh, it was the raid that one time. Okay, I got you. Can we get a heal up, boys and girls? Or else I might lose. Get a heal. No. Well, looks like I lost. That was bad. I don't know what happened there. I just got smoked. I think that was bogus right here. I don't know what happened. I managed to get one solid star, boys. She got hasted. I got hasted. I got a courage up, so can I kill? Nope, of course. She's too fast. So that's their combination. They're using this speed to beat me here. Oh wow, congratulations. I won a level 79 for the team. Well, my guildies just watched me get slaughtered, so I clearly suck at this game because I haven't really made any adjustments on my attacking team, and I got beat up by a team like that. I mean, no offense to that team. That's just, they're going with pure speed. That team is essentially a class match team relying on speed, and my team got outsped. And I wasn't really prepared for missile damage. Bad idea, boys. Bad idea. So I got one solid star for them. For our team, I got one solid gold star. That is the price you pay when you're not prepared in terms of, you know, fighting the right comp. I think that's what Guild Wars is ultimately all about. You just got to pick the right comp. Let's keep it a secret. The other 9 players needs to pick up my slack. Alright, if you guys been farming the Mage Mashers, let's go ahead and do the... Alright, Pablo, I'm going to start a room. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. I think last time we had 1 melee unit and 3, we had 1 or 2 melee units, whatever, like physical damagers, and then 2 arithmeticians. I have farmed enough already for 1. I keep yelling at the mic. I had already farmed enough for 1. See, I have 67. I'm trying to go for 2 and then kind of just stop. And I plan to pull the Garble banner, so now I can set up for whichever one I get from the Thursday Pay banner. Very good. Hey Dax, how you doing? So Dax, are you in chat by the way, Dax? I know you're in Dick's Guild. I think I wanted to attack your team last night, but I didn't. I hesitated. You have all physical attackers, Dax. I probably should attack your team, because I got destroyed by whatever the other team I chose. I've been having some terrible luck lately in Guild Wars. I think for me to actually see a good result in getting 6 points, it just means I have to attack earlier. That's all it really means. That's like burn and MTG. Yeah, I got burned. I got essentially burned. Dig's guild, like your guild is actually a pretty good defense. I think we didn't put a whole lot of dent on your defense though. I'm running men in black for my kill team. I know you are. When I saw the 3,200, was it like 3,300? Physical attack power, it's like, alright, I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can put some dent against your guys. I don't think I would have though, because what I notice is that when I see people who do a lot of the triple dark team, they tend to go back to back 2 AoEs, right? You got the disable, and then you have KOR Stern go boom, one shot, and then the enemy team is dead. So I practice against that comp a little bit. So Pablo, the password is right on my screen. Like I haven't moved. It's right on the right. I guess it will be to your left. No problem. That's why we're in no rush. We're just waiting for you to get in. But honestly, I think your name is David, right? Let's just call you Dax though, because I don't know if I would have an easy time like competing against that team. Like my comp is this you, Paulin? Pablo, is this you? I am Paulin. Okay. So this should be fun. We have 3 healers and a thing. I'm gonna switch to tank for this fight though, just to be different. Since you're going in with a healer. And that is not my tank. Where is my tank? Just give me a second. Just give me a second here. I didn't know you're gonna bring a healer, so this is all like slash attack, right? Whatever. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. We looking good? Looking good. All right. Hey, Ski, how you doing? We're getting there, boys and girls. We're getting there. So what do you guys think of the tower since we're starting to farm now? After we help Pablo out, I guess if people want to keep farming the staff, I'm down with it. If people want to farm the Mage Masher, I'm down with it. If people want to farm books, I'm down with that too. Tonight's stream is going to be very chilling, right? I really want to just hang out. I don't really feel like I need to talk too much. I really want to hear you guys' opinions. But I feel like this tower really got me, like, it got me good. It made me feel pretty frustrated. Like when I started to climb the tower early going, I was pretty frustrated. It really made me realize that I'm really lacking in a lot of units. Like I'm lacking, first off, I'm really lacking in fire. I'm really lacking in water, surprisingly. Yuna or King Mon, I have saved 45k. Pablo, I don't know what you have on your account since you're a new player. But I would say in order to help you out with your account, period, Yuna is probably the way to go. King Mon is one of those units that is really good, but then doesn't really add anything to your team. If you're looking for an outstanding healer for PvE, and PvP, I would personally think it's Yuna. Pablo, by the time both units are released, you will have enough visitors for both of them. That is a great point of view, Eileen. I didn't think about that, but you'd be surprised how fast we're catching up to JP. You're stuck on 39, David? I was stuck, literally, I'm not lying to you. I was stuck on that one floor where you have to fight. I think they were fire. I was stuck on that fire floor because I don't have proper water units. And I swear to you, it was the most obnoxious. Are we gonna get slaughtered? Well, we don't have a healer. Our healers are down. I taunted. Didn't I taunt? What's wrong with my tank? Didn't I taunt? One physical DPS should be able to kill them all, so we might be able to win still. So I was stuck on that fire stage, and I literally threw my kitchen sink, my car, I threw my dogs, I threw my transformers, I threw everything I had on that floor. I completely depleted down to, I think I had 3 units left. I threw everything at them because at that point, I don't remember if I reset or not, right? So I think I climbed the first 2 or 3 stages, just kind of like just squeezing through the floors. Like I was just using my best units. I think this is a loss. We have no healers. Like I could tank it, but the healers are getting... And so anyway, so I was like so frustrated because I couldn't clear the floors with a proper strategy. I was just kind of like, what's the word? I was just like ad-libbing through the situation. And it was like, I feel like this floor, these 10 floors are very challenging, right? Very, very challenging. And when I accomplished floor 40 finally today, actually, maybe like 4 hours ago, I felt really, really like I felt a sense of accomplishment, big time. And I realized they give you just enough medals to get the ring, like whatever you needed to make the ring maximized. Hey Kenzen, you're not late. I started my stream late. Yeah, we do have 2 weeks. So like I said, I felt like I was rushing it, and I was creating a sense of frustration for myself, right? If you beat 1 floor a day and then you have to full reset and beat it, you're still good to go. But I just wanted to kind of get it out of the way, you know? I wasn't trying to break any records. I believe you and me, I retreated so many times because I kept making mistakes. And I finally I was able to beat it with my ragtag team, I guess. I definitely learned that I'm lacking water and I'm lacking fire. Like I have to kind of start investing in those. I'm not sure. I'm not doing any reruns. I'm telling you this right now. I ain't doing any reruns. I'm not even doing the EX quest. I don't. It's challenging enough, but right now I'm just not in the mindset to do it. So I doubt it would take more than 40k to max Yuna. I think it's gonna take you a little bit more than 40k to max Yuna. Because Yuna is a limited time unit and you need 1000 shards. Unless, of course, unless Mr. Hiroki decides to treat the 1-year anniversary different than the JP server, right? Oh my god, I gotta stop on him. This is gonna be a very slow grind for this, but I think we may be able to beat it. Hey Khalil, I am so confused. I'm gonna pull Oron or Yuna. I heard Oron is pretty good, but he's ice, and we have overabundance of good ice units. Yuna is very, very powerful. Look at that, boys and girls. Beautiful. Ogrius is completely destroying these 2 units with stops. But anyways, long story short, I do want to make a video. I don't want to make it into a ranting video because I don't want to rant because it's not going to be a rant. I think personally, I rushed the tower and it did make me realize that I need to be better prepared for the future. I need to start working on my units. I need to start making them better. My biggest issue was the fact that my resonances with a lot of my units are very poor, so they weren't getting full stats. I think you can only get a maximum of 150 shards from the Mog shop or the Soul shop. Someone told me that the maximum was 150. So it's like, you need 1,000 shards. If you spend 45k and you don't get Yuna, or you spend 45k to get Yuna, you're not gonna be able to max her at all as a free-to-play player. Because even if you got Yuna and you're gonna run out of shards, let me take off auto for a second. Then you're not going to be able to max her. So personally, you have to be prepared that you may not be able to max her. Just be prepared that you may not be able to max her with 45k. Because that's one of the things that I think a lot of content creators are realizing, and that's why these videos that everyone's making are just about realization that we don't think you can actually get all of those units. Right. I think Chung makes a great point. I want to say Go, even though I refer to him as King, but a lot of people don't recognize that you're King. So I think Go makes a good point. You still need the Baphomet card, which is almost impossible to get as a free-to-play player. So 45k now, 1 month later, you should be able to save another, I would say 12, 13k. So let's say in 2 months, the unit comes out. You will have roughly 60k. It's not gonna be enough. King Mon is not limited, I don't think so. Hey Jose, good evening. Hopefully Titus is also free. I believe Titus should be free. I think I'm gonna be satisfied with just Titus, to be honest. I'm gonna be satisfied with Titus. I don't think getting Yuna and Bahamut is gonna be something that I want to spend thousands of dollars to do. Of course, unless I monetize and the tiny bit of cash flow that comes in will help me buy some packs. That is something to think about for me though, but that is a long ways down the road that I don't feel like thinking too much about. But to be fair though, like King Mon is double along with his mom, the Dark Rose apparently now, which is very cool by the way. I'm thinking about getting Thick Thigh Dark Rose. TTDR, that's what she's gonna be known as. TTDR, Zombie Ode, yes. Zombie Ode would be pretty badass actually. Zombie Ode should just automatically, Zombie Ode should have the ability to resurrect himself and then do a combined Hadoken skill with Mond, UR. That would be pretty dope. She is thick, man. Did you guys see that? Those pictures? She is, oh my goodness, she is thick. Oh, look at that. Got a disable in there. I don't want to die, so let me see if I could, oh, wait a second. You jumped in the air. All right, come back down. Oh no. I wanted to heal you. I'm gonna cock block him. I'm gonna block him right here. As a free-to-play player, I would spend your busier on maxing out Titus and then saving the rest max out 9S when he comes out later. So then you have 2 limited. Yes. I agree with what the red is saying. That makes more sense. There's no reason to go after Yuna if you can't get the Bahamut card. We're talking about Dark Rose, Helena. I think we would have been fine, but stop! Damn it! What if I got a stop on her? That would have been good. I don't know if I can beat this stage if you don't live, Kalora or Kalorama. Seriously, Helena got some really thick thighs. I mean, her hips are like jacked. I probably should have healed you actually on that one. I'm not being rude. My friend is texting me about something, so. Let me heal you. Just auto. Just look at her vision card as a unit. Dark Rose Helena just came out in Japan. They probably model Helena from Kim K. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Kim K, yes, I agree. It's probably Kim K. More like Chloe K. Wow, those are seriously. When I saw the card, I was like, man, those are some hips. I mean, listen, she did give birth to 2 like big babies, right? So. Uh-oh, David switching up to KOR. Let's do it. I saw Black Rose EX skipping collabs. I personally, here's what I think. I think even if you're a spender, going after Yuna without going after Bahamut will, I think, essentially gimp her. So I think it is important to think about that, right? Are you going to be going after the Bahamut card? Because that card, by the way, it's a 50% lower chance of getting that card over other cards. And on JP, you know what? I should put, oh my god, I should have put the Bio Love card on. That's why they're not attacking me. What kind of tank am I? My bad, guys. For the next fight, I would do it. So if you're not doing that, then I think it's not really worth summoning for Yuna. And UR Mont, in my honest opinion, is kind of one of those luxury characters that you don't really need on your account. But if you got the first copy, then you're on your way to essentially building him for the long haul, and then you should be fine. I don't think you need to worry too much about a unit like you are. Hey Ranti, long time no see, Ranti. Let's do some taunting blades. And then I think we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna slap on Bow Love to get all the hate, and then maybe the healer can actually survive. Actually, never mind. We don't have a healer anymore. Tatiana, yes, you're right. Bahamut is not limited. You're absolutely correct. But my point is, that is a hard card to get, right? It's a double cost. On top of it, the chance of you getting that card is a little bit lower. So unless, of course, they allow us to get that card as a guarantee, if you will, then I think it'll be a great idea. You haven't really missed much, Ranti. Today we did Guild Wars. It was a shit show. I talked about how the new tower, the 31 to 40, are pretty rough. But we have more than enough time to do it this time. We have 2 weeks. I think we always get 2 weeks, don't we? And I haven't even, I got the ring. I haven't looked at if I wanted to maximize it or anything, because I don't know if I really need it at this point. I think I need to concentrate on my units. I haven't really finished building my units yet, so. Let me see if I can get a heal in here. Wait. You can stand there. Kalora can drain life. I can try to get a heal. We're brute forcing our way through this. No, don't let me die. Okay, here we go. Yeah, get next to me so I can heal. I'm gonna stand here. How far up are you? I'm finished. I actually finished today. But I kind of rushed it because essentially... Oh no. Alright. Alright, Kaylor. Should we trust you, or is this going to be doable by yourself? I don't know what happened here. I think I messed up. I probably shouldn't auto it. Alright. He had no faith, so... Is the UR sword from Tower Shop worth getting? Hey Darth, how you doing? Yes. If you have rain, absolutely is worth it. That is a sort of a weapon to pair for rain. It's like one of those weapons that if you're going for rain, you should definitely go for that weapon. The thing is though, like the thing is with the Bahamut card, it's a long-term, it's a humongous long-term investment. That's all it really is. But in terms of UR Mont, you have to essentially get UR Mont, the very first copy. And then that's a long-term project. Unit is a short-term project. What's going on, Second? I was hoping you would come tonight. Yeah, that sword is, I guess you guess. To make it fair, that sword is pretty boss, period. Should I take auto off and make us not auto it? Because you do have to climb up the ladder pretty good to get that sword if you're a newer player though. I think you just need 3,000, so probably by floor 20 something, you'll probably be able to get it. So I think I just screwed up again. I forgot to put the Vow of Love card, guys. Maybe you guys should stay back a little bit. Like don't go forward. If you want to beat this with our team. Let me try to get a Taunting Blade up. But definitely floor 31, 40, it's pretty time consuming. I think players who have been playing this game for a while have good amount of units and cards and equipment and things like that. It's not very hard, it's very, I think the best way to say it is time consuming. But if you rely on the reset, you should be able to beat it with no issues at all. Personally, like I said before, like I felt like I've been ignoring a lot of my units that I built months ago and just kind of been relying on like, I don't know, 5, 6 units. That strategy no longer works in the higher floors. So we have to kind of take that mentality out of our brain. After about floor, I don't know, floor 30, it is no longer really an option anymore. Dreaming with a FF6 collab. Diego, I dream about that. I dream about a lot of things. Yeah, the Bahamut is definitely, I think it's in my opinion, the must-own situation for everyone, right? Even if you don't have a magic comp, I think that's a great investment. Like I would definitely invest in that if I have it. I think I'm gonna go, can I give you the heals here? Yes, I can. I don't think you need to worry too much about all that, Elin. I think ultimately it really just boils down to the amount of time you do spend on the game while you're playing it, you spend it wisely. I think that's my problem. I did not spend my time wisely, even though all I do is preach to the community to spend your time wisely. So yes, definitely spend your time wisely and make sure that when you do work on a unit, make sure you kind of like work on them to the fullest extent. Like I think I'm getting a break though because of EX job 120, right? Or excuse me, EX job 25. So I should be able to now go back and start concentrating on a lot of units. But idealistically, if you're building a unit, you got to work on your residences with your espers. At least, oh my god, I crashed. You know, work on like say 2 to 3 espers max out in like terms of the levels. You got to get your, obviously your weapon stuff, and then of course you got to get some nice equipment. I did not do that, and was a little irritated because I was trying to craft armor to deal with some of the scenarios, but unfortunately I don't have enough books. I don't have enough armor books. Like I wanted to craft that armor for my like heavy armor wearers, and I just didn't have enough books. So it's like I was a little frustrated about that. You know, I wish I had more armor set for the anti-slash. hopefully we'll get more access to like more of those lower rarity stones, because I think those are going to be very good for a lot of people. It is, so far they only came out of the tower, right? You have to trade in metals, and I wasn't about to trade in metals for those things. I traded all of my 3,300 for the whatever those new, I guess the light ores. I traded for those. So I'm coming to you, David, to do the princess again. And I should have enough to hopefully stop or disable those other guys. Well, Paulin, you actually survived quite a long time this fight, so. And no, I have not tried the LD player emulator. That was kind of weird that I crashed. I usually don't crash. It's very rare that I crash. But anyways, I think the design is very cool though. That this floor designs are very nice. I really enjoy floor 31 to 40. Challenging, but yet doable. I just kind of wish perhaps the rewards are a little bit better, but you know, it's kind of like one of those spoiled brat type of, you know, saying though. I feel like it's more of like a spoiled brat type of thing. 38%. Disable? Yes. I like it. I know, right? This is the second time it crashed. Yo, what's going on, Ketone? How you doing? Now, is Ketone actual Spanish name, or are you just a big fan of the character Ketone? I'm a little curious. I think that's too far away for me to hit him. Damn it, that's too far away. Let's see if we can get a taunting blade up. Oh no, I'm out of taunting blades. Maybe Warrior Light would be a better tank here. As a FTP, is it worth it going for the Dark Lane Vision card if you're going for Bahamut? Is an extra 7% agi worth the spend? That's a great question. I confused her. That's a great question. I think if you're gonna save for the Bahamut card, that's probably, honestly, that's a very tough thing to think about, because that card is very hard to obtain, right? I'm gonna be straight honest about that. So unless the global banner favors us in terms of us getting it, as a free-to-play pair, be prepared to be disappointed, right? That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not saying as a negative or a Debbie Downer mentality. I'm looking at it more like as you're playing the percentages, right? And essentially that's what it's all about. The 7% agility is a lot if you think about it. 7% agility is quite a bit. And in terms of units like, say, Niv or Frederica, where, by the way, their power level is very, very high because of their synergy together. And then if you add units that can give them quicken or haste, it boosts up their attack power, like their power level really, really high, right? So that extra agility, it's, in my opinion, is worth it. It's definitely worth it. Very good call, David, very good call. I need to concentrate on what's ahead of me real quick. There we go. This is the last run. This is the last run anyways. Let's see. My first UR unit I pulled Ketone, so I named myself after. Okay, thank you, Ketone. That's what I thought. But yes, I honestly feel like the Dark Helena card is a very good card to have, because agility, in my honest opinion, is one of the most powerful stats you could have in this entire game, period. Like, no arguing. No one should be arguing against me what is a stat that's better than agility, right? If you play any RPGs, taking extra turns is definitely way more powerful than any other stats in the game. Idealistically. On paper, of course, on paper. So, that's my mentality. But the Bahamut card is not one of those things that you want to quote-unquote save up for. It's not worth chasing. If it falls in your lap, great. If it doesn't, there's nothing you can do. No matter how many Visuors you want to save up for, if it doesn't come to you, it just doesn't come to you. And that's my mentality on it. Regardless if you're a free-to-play player or a spender. I'm a spender, and I don't even plan on thinking about getting the Bahamut card, to be honest. On the day that it's released. If I happen to get it with my luck, knowing my luck, I'll probably get that card somewhere down the road. But I'll probably start buying some of the shards, though, you know, in anticipation. That's my mentality. And I think Tsuki makes a great point. Agility is important in high-level raids. Example, the last raid that I done, if my units were just have a little bit more speed, I would be able to full clear it with my crappy team without actually have to rely on super overpowered units for that specific raid. Because my free-to-play account just couldn't handle it because I lacked agility boosts. And that's as honest as it gets. Have my fiance pull for me? Definitely. I need her to actually do the clicking too. But like there's really no reason to contemplate things too far down the road, right? Sometimes you kind of have to just pray to the you just have to pray. Unfortunately, we did worse this run than any other previous runs. There is a time when I battle a team who has high agility and the beginner just moved twice before my units. Well, Ketone, you arrived a little bit late, but earlier when I was playing in Guild Wars, I underestimated my opponent. And as a result, they did laps around me, like seriously, like Niv and Frederica did laps around my team, and I got smoked, and I captured it on film. So now that just proves that don't underestimate your team, because speed is way more boss in this game than a lot of other things. Speed is king. Speed is king, man, period. Even though in that situation, Niv didn't do anything to me, it was more like Frederica with Ayaka that did all the work. So, but it is what it was, right? I mean, I learned. Hopefully I took something and learned from that. So yes, in my opinion, free-to-play player, you should have at least one UR card that gives you a maximized 15% agility boost. Now you could either choose between this Helena card, which is right here for you, or you could choose the Final Fantasy Tactics card, which should be coming back, and I would say, I don't know, in a few months, maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And then if you have a chance to top that card off, which is really good for your slashing units, then that's an option. But personally, why not take care of the situation which is in front of you? You're guaranteed the card for 10K investment, That's only 1 month of actual logging in without even actually playing the game. And then of course you have to buy the shards. So in my opinion, that will work. And the other option would be, of course, go for just a yellow chocobo card, which you will essentially lose 5% agility, but as a free-to-play player, that may be good enough, because to be quite honest, a free-to-play player will most likely have a much harder time competing in certain aspects of the game, right? When it comes down to match play, you cannot match the power of those whales because they just have lots of maxed out UR cards, maxed out UR raid equipment, and things of that nature. So yes, you have that budget option of the yellow chocobo card. Like, you will get by PvE content without probably not that much of a difference, as long as you're working on trust masters that also give you agility. Then yes, you should be able to make up for all of that. Because 5%, no matter how we discuss it, is 5%. 5% is 5%. Man, this resists though. Seriously. Oh man. Can you survive with the bloody lance? I need you to survive this. Seriously, by the way, Colorama has been in every single of my streams helping people out. So we have to give a big time shout out to Colorama. Please, let's all thank him or her for doing this. It should be a him, by the way. Let me see if I can get Taunting Blade. Actually, no, you're probably being targeted, right? I have to get this off. Get it off. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. So the next one, I'm gonna have to disable that girl, my favorite girl, Lorelei. I have to disable her. So as a free-to-play player, I have a free-to-play account. I completely play that account from a free-to-play mentality. I try to do min-maxing and whatever I need to do, but it's too much work. I can't really balance both. So from that perspective, I feel like you have to really kind of go for what counts more. And I think agility counts for quite a bit. Because the Bakuman card isn't really going to do you a whole lot of good, right? Unless you have Yuna, and so that's a lot of... This should be good. Taunting Blade up, and then you should be able to survive the next hit. That's just the way I look at it. But if you're satisfied with the 10%, with a 5% loss, like I said, you're fine too. Just be prepared that, you know, you're mentally prepared where you want to be in this game. I am going to disable you. Dang it. I didn't do it. He should die, yeah. He should die after the next hit. He is disabled one more time. Okay, immobilize is fine, so I'll kill him, and then we should be good. I think I need to get Taunting Blade up one more time if they allow me to. Did I use it all up? Nope, I got one more. We did it, boys and girls. That was fun. I have to disable her. Not a good sentence to say in public. Well, to be fair. Hey, anytime, Pablo. That's what my streams are for, to be honest. Just to get the community helping each other out. And as you guys clearly can see, there's a lot of great folks in this game that are more than willing to help people out. I hope that helped you. You got some decent items out of it. So should we farm some books? Or should we farm this? Or should we farm Mage Masher? Let's get a vote in the chat. What do you guys want to do? I'll give you guys like a minute because of the stream delay. And while you guys are deciding, I'm gonna get some more water. I'll be right back. Stay? Okay, they didn't stay. All right, what have we decided? I need all the books. I'm game for books. All right, let's do books. I love farming some books. Books are super fast too, you know, with Little Leela. That is not Little Leela. Let's do books. I want to farm all of them too, David. I really do. I need to. I think Mage Masher, I'm okay with not farming now because my Venera is not even close to being finished. I need to farm. Not that I clear a tower. I don't want to. I don't know if I really want to go back and play it again. It's just too much work. I gotta really work on homing in on crafting more armor. That's definitely what I need to do. Farm tons of do tons of my armor and just get all my equipment in check. And then I think I need to go back and start working on the resonances of some of those older units, right? And just kind of make sure those units are in like tip-top shape. So anytime I'm call on them to kind of go to war with me, they're ready to go. So for the tokens, I need more attack seals, but the week doesn't give that. Yeah, I spent all my cash on, not cash, all my currency on seals now. Like I just buy a lot of seals. Is this it? This is all we got? 3 people? All right, we'll do some runs then. But, you know, I think Diggs is going to be doing a 1-year anniversary stream. And so he's working with a lot of the content creators to try to get a lot of people involved in topics of conversations celebrating our 1-year anniversary. So I think that would be interesting. I'm not sure what topic that I would like to discuss on though, because it seems like there seems to be a lot of people who seem to be down on this game. And the only thing I can say about that is don't let a game get you down, because it's a game. Are you gonna be in Diggs' invitation? I think so. Like he got in contact with me asking me about it, and then I told him, I said, you know what, I'm not really sure what I would like to talk about or who I would like to talk about with during his segments. Like I think he's trying to work out segments in his stream, and he wants like different people talking about the same subject to talk about in the same segment. Maybe that should be your topic. Oh, like why people are being down? Yeah, that's a good topic actually. People should be more happy. I think personally, I would love to talk about that. I think that's a good topic of conversation. Like you shouldn't let the game dictate how you play. And on top of it, you shouldn't let other people dictate how you play, right? Don't let people dictate how you choose to do like your actions. Like you can have them as perhaps influences, but not necessarily dictate, right? Influences and dictate is 2 different things. I think if you're influenced by someone, what that means is it's helping you make your decision. But if you're being dictated by someone, then you're allowing that person to essentially make the decision for you. I think that's the key difference there, right? I ain't no English major. You get that joke? I said I ain't no English major. Sorry, that was a dad joke. All the dads in the stream, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anywho, I think yeah, there you go. Thanks, David. Actually, that would be a good topic of conversation. Maybe I should talk about how a lot of people are having this like a low morale with this game. Personally, I'm not really seeing why you need to have low morale. Like if you feel like you're having some issues playing the game in terms of maybe burning out, or you're farming too much, or you maybe feel like you're spending too much time on this game, whatever reason, take a step back, man. Like go do something else. Like, you know, go out and run around in your neighborhood. take your pet for a walk, or go to the park and play with your kids, or I don't know, something. Do some exercising, anything that will help like freshen your brain. Because it's a fine balance, right? You can't be sitting in front of your computer or hovered over with your phone all day long, because that's not healthy. Like, I remember when I was studying college, I think I brought this story up before. I was studying for my finals. I'm sorry, Red. I promise after this run, I will request you for friends. I had to remove 7 people from my friend list today because apparently these people have quit the game a long time ago. But anyways, I was studying for my finals and I wasn't cramming, I do pretty well in school when it comes to understanding concepts right away. I'm like essentially a fast learner, but I'm not very good at keeping the right schedule to study all the time. That's not my style. It has never been, even though when I was in nursing school, I did change my study habits. I'm not gonna lie, nursing program was pretty rough for me. Like I hate to go there, but I keep saying it's true. Like as a male, it was very tough because a lot of this stuff it's boiled down to nurturing and thinking logically and things like that. And guys don't think logically. I think it's fair to make that assessment. We tend to think like more of a black and white, right? I'm more of a science, math type of person. So I think things in terms of black and white. And a lot of the questions were very grayish. You know what I mean? Like it was very tough. I had a hard time adjusting to it. But anyways, long story short, I was studying for finals before I got into any sort of professional programs. And my dad was like, listen, I don't know why you're staying in your room studying all these hours straight. That's not good for you. Get up, go to the basketball court and play some basketball, right? And he's like, you need to do it because you need to make sure your mind is fresh by exercising your body. And so, of course, I call on my buddy and say, hey, let's go shoot some hoops. 6 hours later, I come back. And I study. And then the next day, of course, I ace my finals. Long story short, you got to balance out your body. You can't sloshing around mentally playing games all day. And you definitely cannot slosh around not exercising your brain. You have to kind of balance it out. I agree with that statement. It's key. I think that is a valid point. Like, I think I'm probably butchering her name, but I just pronounce it based on how I see it. Island, if you're still here. Ellen, it's probably more like Ellen. She says she's a new player. She feels like she needs to catch up. Well, the way I have to say that is you don't really need to catch up. There's nothing to catch up on, right? All the stories are there. All the events, they always come back in a full circle. So essentially the only thing you need to catch up on, quote unquote, is to make sure you level up a team. You got your one farmer unit going. Eileen, there you go, in English, fair enough. So as Eileen stated earlier, she has this sense that she needs to catch up. Well, you shouldn't have to worry about catching up. Eileen. Aileen. Oh, it's Aileen. Okay. Aileen. See, but the L-Y-N, we don't pronounce that as lean, right, in English. We pronounce it as Lynn. Alin, right? So if you say Eileen, but it's actually Alin, then I'm going to say Alin. So the way I look at it is this, right? You don't have to have that mentality you need to catch up. You need to have the mentality that you need to play at the pace that your life allows you to. And then just make sure you play efficiently. Concentrate on building your team and concentrate on selecting a play style and just relax. Like, you should be enjoying the music, the voice acting, the great artwork, the explosion effects, the way that you're progressing through the game each day. You're gaining a little bit more and more to reach to the state of which you can kill things easily, right? Like, that's what it feels like. Every single person that just played the Shadowbringers, the Shadowbringers event that just came back recently, Final Fantasy 14 event, right? Everyone said that event is so easy. But when it first came out, it was the most challenging thing this game had to offer at that moment. Like, I didn't even attempt any of the events. It was that hard. Just think about it. Only what, in 8 months, we trivialized that event, right? Essentially, that's what it is. And the great thing is, even as a beginning player, with the EX Shop 25 coming, essentially all of us have to sort of start again, all over. We have to now pick which units we need to raise up, because that takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of time. And so the game, technically speaking, is resetting itself at another level, right? At level 2. Think of a beginning player, a brand new beginning player as level 1. Once you hit a bunch of level 99 units, then you're beginning level 2. Personally, I hope in year 4, no, hold up, 1, 2, yes. Hopefully at the start of year 4, they will let us do level 3. I'm really hoping that year 3 does not mean level 3, because then I think the game is moving at a too fast of a pace. I probably should save all this. I'm kind of like practicing all of this with you guys for the 1 year anniversary kind of like topic. I think that's a good topic. Maybe that's what I'll tell them. That's the topic I want to do. Yeah, see, a lot of other players can concur to that. Exactly. I think what is challenging, you should be able to have the mentality, hey, I know I can't defeat it now, but I'm okay with that. I accept it. In about a few more months, when the event does return, I should have no issue beating it. And the great thing about this game is, now it's trying to get to the point where they're keeping track of your progress. Whereas before, when we did the Porcelain Tower, it didn't do that, right? When we got the Tide Ring, they say you have to start from scratch. Everyone had to start from scratch. But right now, since we're building upon the layers of a tower, you can even use that analogy of the Porcelain Tower as the analogy of how this game is progressing. Hey, you know what? That will make a great topic of conversation next week. The Porcelain Tower is essentially an analogy of this game. Damn, that's pretty deep. I just turned Confucius on you guys. That's a great way of looking at it, the layer of development. Think of it that way, and I think that's a great way to approach the game. It's like a good philosophy, kind of like with anything in life. A baby is not going to just start running after crawling, right? You're not going to be able to drive a car if you're just starting to, well, maybe that's not a great analogy, but you're not going to want to start like become like a sprinter if you're just learning how to run, right? Everything you have to take in step by step, layer upon layer of knowledge and experience. And I think that's what role-playing games ultimately are. It's the ability to manage yourself, manage your account, and of course manage your resources. It's kind of like you're an accountant. Like, playing a gacha game essentially means you're an accountant and you're just crunching numbers and you're managing your resources. And sometimes you have to min-max, and then sometimes you have to learn to call it quits. Like right now, like my EX 31 floor, or is it 30 floor, and EX 40 floor, the company can keep their prizes because I don't even want to bother playing it. I felt a little burned out, I guess, playing the tower, and that's my own fault. But I realized what I've been preaching to the players is kind of what I did on the tower. And I think I need to kind of reapproach that philosophy myself if I'm sitting here preaching it to the crowd, right? If I'm preaching it to the choir, I gotta do it myself. I think I remember seeing Cabbage's first video about attempting the Shadowbringers, and he had to use like special tactics and things like that. But now it's like you send your strongest units, click auto, and just walk away. It's so easy. But to be fair, the arithmetician job is a pretty overpowered class, I feel like, in this game. I think pretty soon every encounter we just bring 4 arithmeticians and call it a day. And with Thick Thigh, Dark Rose, Helena, that's gonna be a dark unit arithmetician. We have a light one. Technically speaking, we have a light one because Marielle is arithmetician. We have Little Leela, Halloween Little Leela. And then we have, of course, Elvira. So we're gonna need Earth, we're gonna need Lightning, we're gonna need Ice, we're gonna need Fire. We're gonna see all those different classes come in the future, all have arithmeticians. But you know, for the tower though, I think for the tower, now that I've cleared it, arithmetician really didn't do as much work as I like them to. But to be fair, I think if I had 3 arithmeticians, it'd be pretty easy. You just AoE, blast everything, and they're all dead. The first wave of enemies would be dead. But for me, I did do a lot of those situations where I try to create a funneling effect, where I have my tanks kind of like just wedged in this one little tiny area, and all my healers and range attackers just stay as far back as possible. And then just kind of like did the whole 300, right? The movie 300, where, you know, they had to kind of get all funneled in, and their overwhelming forces simply wasn't going to be enough to kind of like blast their way against my team. I think a few of the floors were pretty rough because there was very open battlefield. And I think in those areas, I had to make sure I use my taunts properly. And then of course, I had to make sure that I use the ledges, because some of those units, they cannot get up on a ledge to attack you. And their range attacks weren't going to get to me. So I kind of just wedge all my healers and stuff in the back on the top of the edges, and then have my tanks just run into the middle of the stage and just cast taunts. Still have to do manual since auto just let them rush to their death. If you're referring to the tower, I don't think I can auto anything. Well, the first few floors, yes, but those later floors, they're rough. I think the only time I used that strategy was, I think, a couple of floors early going in the tower. I used that strategy of just sending in my scrubs to absorb their good hits and keep making their enemies waste their buffs. But I think the deeper I climbed, the higher I climbed, to me it seemed like it got easier, right? Because I guess my teams were more concentrated against certain elements. I had a very hard time against fire. That was my hardest. I think against wind, that was by far the easiest. Like my ice team just, it wasn't even a challenge. The ice team just mopped the floor with them. Like no deaths, no damage really, because they weren't doing enough damage. And I was doing a lot of damage to them. And I carried over to the next floor. Like in fact, before resetting, the only members that had left were my ice units. Nobody were dead. All the other elements, they were all dead. Actually, surprisingly enough, my Gilgamesh was actually, he was a champ, man. Like he was a champion against, believe it or not, the fire enemies. Like he just refused to die. And the fact that he was able to cast Quicken on my strongest unit when he was deployed, Like, I really enjoy Gilgamesh. It really makes me really enjoy time mages way more than before. Like, much higher appreciation for them. Even though I feel like I have really high appreciation for time mages already. This makes me want to go back and make sure I have all the time mages. Because Quicken is really overpowered in this game. Earth got live. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, right. I guess I haven't really paid too much attention to live. Like all the new units, I don't even bother looking at them because I simply don't have the resources to build any of them. Because I remember people were saying that relying on elements in this game is not really needed. But man, I tell you, it would have made our lives a lot easier if we all had, like, say, the entire 5-unit comps for all the different floors on this tower. Because I think that is a testament to how we should be thinking in that way. Like, you don't need to, right? The word need, you don't need to, but maybe we need to start thinking that way. Yes, mages were king on the final floor. Floor 40 was all about mages. Because those stupid skeletons, they're so annoying. They'll disable you. They can drain life you. So if you don't kill them fast enough, your run with your team is essentially over. I think the team that I did the most work was I had 3 mages and 2 tanks. And I was able to essentially kill... There's 10 units on each floor. There was 10 units on floor 40, and I killed 6 with my 5-man team. And then I just zerged down the remainder. I just zerged down the boss and the remainder 3 enemies. But that floor was very well designed, in my opinion. Very well designed. I think my favorite floor has to be the floor where there were 2 spell blades and there were 8 time mages, and all they did was quicken the spell blades, and the spell blades will cast Taunting Blade and just do so much damage to your team, so you couldn't bunch up your team formation wise, or else you'll get wiped. Right? That was by far, in my honest opinion, one of the more fun challenge floors for this month's Porcelain Tower. I thought that was very well designed, and it further emphasized the idea that Quicken is very overpowering in this game. It's interesting Black Rose has a arithmetician because Eldyra is a arithmetician who looked up to her. Well, I can honestly say I don't know anything about the storyline, but if that is part of the storyline, I think the designers are probably thinking like they just want to make some cash, perhaps. They're gonna start missing out on the details. I hope they don't start just releasing lots of double cost units though. Because double cost units are pretty good. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I started my stream pretty late tonight, Quack. I started at 10. I've been pushing my stream back on Friday nights further and further back because we get a lot of daddies that live in the States, or I guess you could say the Western Hemisphere. And then I have a lot of supporters that are from the other side of the planet. So I felt like if I do 10 p.m., it made the most sense in terms of trying to get everybody to hang out on the stream. I think the group of folks that perhaps I'm shunning sort of would be the first half of the Eastern Hemisphere, right? It would be like the European countries and Africa, but there is no perfect timing for streaming in this type of game. Unless I stream like once during the day and once during the night. That would be a little too much. It's not, because I work tomorrow. So I usually stay up all night the night before I work. So tonight I gotta actually prepare my food for tomorrow. So after the stream, I'm gonna go cook for tomorrow, and then I think I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy 14. Since the bulk of my farming has been done on this game. And then probably go to bed around like 5, 6 in the morning, and then get up and go to work. I don't think I'm gonna release anything tomorrow. It's weird, like lately, like a lot of the topic conversations is just not getting views, and I'm not here to like rant about it, but I feel like when I'm making content for this game, sometimes it seems like perhaps I have to squeeze out content out of things, right? I guess I will consider myself to be a general content creator. I don't have any like little corners that I've dug myself like a lot of the other content creators are doing. One thing I do want to start doing is I do want to start making review videos of the units that I own. I think that's a good way to kind of do more content from my end, because I think everyone enjoys review videos. Like beginning players love to get people's perspective of how they see units. And now that I have lots of 99 units and whatever, I think it's a good idea to talk about them, and then maybe talk about, are they worthy of taking to the next level, right? Are they worthy of going to level 120? And I think that's the beauty of a JP player, is that they do have that hindsight, right? They get to preach to us how they see things from a hindsight perspective. And I think that's why sometimes I feel very giggly inside that the global server kind of like starts to kind of go in the direction of wherever it wants to go, and not following the JP, because if it's not following JP, then whatever the JP players are saying may not hold as much validity as if the global players finally get access to those units, and we talk about those units in the context of what's going on global. Because what's going on in Japan right now is completely different than what's going on global, right? I think that's a fair statement, right? The meta shift is different. And just because Japanese players are not doing evasion, or never have really, it doesn't mean global players don't love evasion. I think global players love evasion way more. And I think it's fair to say that global players really love missile units. They love missile units. That's true. Aside from new units, it's essentially just a farming. It's a farming simulator. But right now I'm enjoying Final Fantasy 14. I mean, there's no pressure for me to do anything crazy. And by the way, for those of you who watched the videos that I put out on those, on the Final Fantasy 14, I didn't play with the settings. So it looks like ass. Like seriously, like the settings that I'm playing that game looks like ass. So last night I turned on the setting and now it looks great. And now it looks amazing, so. Diggs is too catered to whales, and I find his content isn't reliable to FTP and casual spinners of the most part, but that's just my opinion. JP units don't have an evasion meta because Secrets of the Heart was in Valentine's Day special. That's right. Secrets of the Heart was a special thing. But now that they do get the card, they kind of sort of like, you know, sort of nerfed the evasion concept. But evasion is good in certain aspects of the game. Easily, you can argue against that. But with sharpshooters and guaranteed hits in this game, especially in PvE, it doesn't work. You just get annihilated. Like floor 31 to 30, no, all the floors, 31 to 40. Shadow Lynx is not even good anymore. Like she was getting destroyed by almost on every floor. So let's just call it Moraga Fins is 100 cost. He could be like 500 cost. Well, to be fair, Ellen, like, in order to really logistically make content for any type of gacha games, most likely people have to spend. I don't really watch enough of Dig's videos to make an assessment, but I think what you're saying makes some sense, right? It's like, it's hard to cater to whales and then include free-to-play players. I think that's almost impossible to do, because I always emphasize you cannot segregate people into groups, but the information you're going to give should be just a general information. And if you're going to start covering units like KOR Stern or UR Mont or Bahamut Vision Card and all that stuff, and then you're like, well, by the way, you can steamroll all arena competition if you had this, and this, right? If you had A, B, C, D. Then in that case, then free-to-play players just be looking at you, be like, I don't know what you want from me because I can't do that. And I don't think there's anybody out there that can actually create logical free-to-play content. And that was the reason I wanted to do that, but I realized it's very hard to do. It is very, very tedious to do, and it's very, very hard to do, because essentially the choices that I make as a free-to-play player may not make other people make the same choices that I'm making because of the playing style. But I think one thing I do want to concentrate on doing is, when I make a review of a unit, I don't want to just say, hey, by the way, these are the best vision cards. Because I think that's kind of dumb. Because when you say it in that way, then you are going to segregate the viewers. And I think what you're saying, Ellen, makes perfect sense, right? As a free-to-play player, you should be able to be given the options of, hey, here are the best. We all know what the best are, but can you give me some, say, substitutions, right? That would also be logical. And on top of that, it's very hard to convey to the player base that you need to individually think where you want to do in this game. I think when you cast that umbrella out, that right there is essentially kind of like making things complicated already. So I think that's true. I think a lot of people are hitting the things on the head here. Clearly, Diggs is about monetization. Not that he's all about it, but he's not shy about it. And I think he made that apparent. So it makes sense that his content is designed for people who enjoy watching wailing out, right? Watching people wailing out. And if you're going to want to support him through the Amazon thing, then essentially you're spending money yourself. So that makes sense. And then in terms of Ron J, I don't, honestly, like, I only watch a few of his videos, to be honest. So I can't really comment of what he does or what he's doing, but I see his thumbnails, you know, in my videos, not in my pop-ups. So I kind of see what topic of conversation he's covering. But I don't watch too many videos. I just don't have the time to do it during my day. But I think what makes a good review video is, in this game, you need to be able to cover what is the best, and you need to be able to cover what are the alternatives. And I think that is like makes up for good review. Simply go around telling people, all right, guys, if you have Halloween Lita, use this vision card, use this, and use this, and they're all UR quality, then you right off the bat, you're already kind of like, well, you're kind of given that feeling that I don't really need to go over what are alternatives, because I'm going to hit and assume that people can all have access to those things. And I think that makes it tough, because even as a spinner myself, I don't have access to all the best things in this game, because it's more about time and money, right? You have to spend money. and put in the time. And I think that's what makes this game perhaps a little bit intimidating and off-putting to a lot of players at this point. Like burning out it's a legitimate thing, because just because you're spending time, it doesn't necessarily just because you're spending money, it doesn't necessarily shave off the time you need to invest into this game. With Diggs, everything is a must pull. Yeah, I think so. I think Diggs just pulls everything because he needs to create content. He needs to create content from a Kraken perspective. He needs to have every unit so he can review them all. But I'm not sure. Isn't RNJ a spender too though? Like he's a heavy spender too, I believe. Actually, I found out what RNJ does for a living. He's apparently a social studies teacher. Because you are running doesn't mean you're not running in place. That is true. I think RNJ is a spender, heavy spender too. I can't really think of a YouTuber covering this game that is not a heavy spender or a spender. I think a lot of content creators look in this situation like they're investing into a business. Yeah, teachers don't. In America, teachers don't make a lot of money. But he could be a professor though. He could be like a professor teaching social studies and making like 6 figures or 75, 80, 90K. I think he lives in America. I don't dare to assume how much he makes, but really, Mysidia is a teacher as well? I didn't know that. It's a possible that Mysidia and RNJ, they deal on the side to make up for their income. There's only one content creator that is not spending much, and that is Nash Taters. Actually, I spent a good amount, but yeah, I sort of haven't spent a whole lot at all lately. Nerd? Was it Night Nerd? Nerd Night? I think it's more than one. I think there's a lot of them in that channel. Canadian teachers make a lot of money? Maybe RNJ is from Canada. Hey Zenadrill, how you doing? I posted in the comments, I was gonna ask you, maybe you can give me some suggestions on my Guild War offense, because I'm having a hard time, man. I'm having some hard ass time, like, getting some stars lately. I'm thinking about maybe replacing my little Leela with Ayaka instead. I think Ayaka makes for a better support. I like Mysidia's vids, very informative. I haven't watched too many of his vids. Like, the first time I saw his channel was when he was making videos about this other game that I was thinking about playing. I forgot what game it was. It was like an action RPG. It was like similar to Star Ocean. I forgot the name. Blade Soul, Blade something, Blade X, something. And he made a video like he was trying to talk about something. And I was like, this doesn't seem very interesting. So then I stopped watching his channel. And then, of course, he started making World Divisions videos. And I think I've seen a couple of them. But he's making less and less videos. Yeah, I think he's cornered the should you pull, should you spin. I think he literally found out one type of video he makes every week, and then that's all he really does. But to be fair, everyone has taken over me. Like I keep saying, I'm a straw drop in the bucket. Because I don't think even everybody knows who I am. Or maybe people know, maybe people know who I am, but a lot of people got turned off. I think a lot of people got turned off by me because there was this moment in the flow of my videos that I was coming off to be angry or hatred or something, hateful. And people are saying they don't like to watch me anymore because, well, some people told me they don't like the way I talk. Because when I first started making videos, I was very like this. I was like this. So if you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button. Like, people are saying I talk too slow. And so I'm thinking, okay, let me speed it up. And then so I started speeding it up. What happened? Did I crash? Oh. And then people were saying that I was speaking too fast, or the way I talk or something. I don't know. It's like sometimes I can't change the way I talk. You know, I can change my mentality, but I can't really change the way I talk. But you think most people knows who I am and likes you? I don't know, man. A lot of people say they don't like me. In fact, you know, being like, here's the thing, right? As a content creator and as a YouTube creator thing, I always stare at my subscriber count, and I get to see if I lose subscribers and gain subscribers. I know a lot of people have quit the game, right? So I can see why subscribers are lost. But one thing I notice is when you're under 1,000, it's very easy to see you losing subscribers because you see the individual count. But when you're over like 1,000, that becomes a non-issue to a lot of people because you don't really see it anymore. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's an Asian thing. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Cabbage is half Asian, right? He's half Asian, right? I think he's half. Isn't he half American, half Japanese? That's true. There are not a lot of Asian content creators. Most of the content creators are Caucasians. I mean, honestly, there are like tons of videos popping up every single day from new people, and I'm glad that people are more into this game, because to me it seems like when you see more YouTubers, they're trying to create channels and talk about World of Divisions, they see potential in the game too. So I think that's a great sign that the game is going to keep going for a while, or until the next big thing comes along and all of us abandon ship and jump onto that new IP or brand. I think for a long time, like, the G word was the one that everyone thought they would. Everyone probably thought the G word was going to be that next big sensation, right? He's my Asian Bieber. Yep, because of the hair. Look at this. This haircut is so dope. No, man, trust me, I am not rocking this hair on purpose. I think I've already talked about it. I cut my hair twice. One time I cut my hair during the pandemic. I kid you not, 6 months I cut my hair. And this is 6 months later. This is 6 months later. G-Word stole our players. They did. G-Word stole a lot of players. In fact, it stole so many players from other games. Maybe what'll end up happening is it will make a lot of those other games better games, because now they have to push harder and work harder to gain more, what's the word? They have to gain more player base. But it's weird that I keep choosing games that are not like blockbusters, right? I'm choosing to play Final Fantasy 14, which is like an 11-year-old game, instead of playing GI, which is clearly making almost $1 billion. You think so? I did notice that like some people, I was following some people's channels, they went from like hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of views on the GI videos, and recently they dropped down significantly in terms of viewer count. So a lot of people probably walked away from the game. I'm really enjoying Final Fantasy 14, actually. I think I'm having a lot of fun with the monk, because combat combat seems to be more involved if you want to get involved as a pugilist. Like, it's all about, like people saying, it's all about where you punch the monsters. But then I realized if you're gonna be lazy and just click the same buttons over and over, it doesn't really make that different. My gear is terrible because I'm a beginner, so I have literally nothing. So I think once I get better gear, it'll probably make a huge difference of, you know, the damages, whatever, but we'll see. Yeah, I heard great things about Honkai Impact, but again, it would be hard for me to start another game like that. But I like Final Fantasy 14. I think I'm going to stick with that game for a while. I think it's going to take a little while for me to build up something going with that game. Like, you know, with anything, unless you're super established, transitioning from games to games, it's going to take a uphill climb. Why didn't you use Vieira? I don't know what that means. Is it too late to catch up to other players or what? You know what? Like with Final Fantasy 14, I'm not thinking about catching up. It's an 11-year-old game, so there's no way to even think about catching up. So I don't want to have that mentality. I'm just going to play Final Fantasy 14 right now leisurely because I'm not paying subscription fees. I'm just playing on trial. You get the luxury to go up to level 60. So I think you get the first expansion pack, and then the next two expansion packs you have to buy. And then you have to pay subscriptions for those. And then of course I think they're announcing another expansion pack. And the level cap right now is 80. So if I can hit 60, and the good thing is you can play any of the jobs on one character. I picked the dragon girl, actually. I didn't pick the bunny girl because I don't think I can. Yeah, that was the issue. I couldn't pick the bunny girl because that's part of the Shadowbringers expansion pack. So I will have to unfortunately make another character if I was to invest long term. But right now I'm having some fun punching things, and I think it's a great game even though it's kind of old. But my next video should have the enhanced graphics, and of course the next video is going to be much shorter, right? Because I did one stream earlier I did a stream on Thursday night, last night. And I already created one video. That was a long video, by the way. It took forever to upload. It's like 53 minutes. But it was essentially me creating my character and then playing for the first hour, I guess. And I feel like you have to do those type of videos for MMOs. But I'm just gonna give the people out there my perspective on the game. From a 2021 brand new player perspective, what I think about different things. I think overall the game is pretty good, pretty well designed. And I'm gonna have to talk about my mentality. Like you asked me, is it gonna be too late to catch up to other players? I mean, you know, there's still people playing World of Warcraft the first time, you know. It's just a lot of mommies and daddies playing World of Warcraft, right? So I don't know if I can have that mentality of trying to catch up. I don't think I want to be joining any hardcore raiding guilds or be the world first or anything like that. I've done my fair share of hardcore gaming in my life. I think right now I just want to take the leisure route of playing any game I ever play from this moment forth. Hell, even like playing this game, I'm not hardcore enough. I think I've come to realize that a lot of the units they're gonna bring in this game, other than perhaps the actual main branch of Final Fantasy collaborations, most of these units, I have no urge to think about summoning for them. Like when I saw the UR Mont, I was like, you know what? He looks exactly the same as the Earth Mont. Well, the difference is now he has a staff on the left hand and a sword on the right hand. But before, he had a sword on the right hand. You know, it's like, okay, I mean, is that the only difference? Oh no, it's not the only difference. The other differences are, he has fire, he's angry now because his father got killed. And of course, now you gotta pay me double. You gotta pay the double the cost to get him. And I was like, not a fan of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be like losing sleep anytime soon trying to summon, you know, UR Mont, you know what I mean? Like, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to take my Earth Mont and throw those giant rocks at people, because it's a guaranteed hit and knocks them back or something like that. And it, what, doesn't it decrease their movement? I mean, come on. That is OP. Never played WoW before. Ragnarok was my OG MMO. Yeah, me too. I love Ragnarok. Ragnarok was my OG before I played World of Warcraft. MiHoYo do make good games though. You can't argue against that. I think, honestly, like, I know a lot of people are asking me like about different summons and things like that. What if I go from like spender to like complete free to play again? I could be doing that. It's not a hybrid knight. I think it's more like a battle mage. He's more like a battle mage now. Well, no, he's not a battle mage, right? He's not a battle mage. He's more like a bougie knight. Let's call him bougie knight instead. He's bougie. He has to eat caviar and lobster as his main source of diet because he has to support his fur coat. And then he's got the staff, even though he doesn't do anything with that staff. That's kind of odd to me, right? He doesn't do anything with that staff. Wow, I never played Dungeons and Dragons ever. Oh, you're talking about Ragnarok. Yeah, you probably got that that reference that I made with my storytelling. My friend made the intelligent knight in Ragnarok. Yeah, you're right. As a content creator, I have to spend to review some units. But if you guys notice, I don't really review units. I can't. In fact, I have little Leela and I never reviewed her. Bowling Bash. That was his reason why he did it. He says he wanted to do Bowling Bash forever. All he did was pump all of his skill points into intelligence, and so therefore he can do Bowling Bash for a very long time. I think a lot of people win agility for knights in Ragnarok. I went with Vit because at that time I was doing the Dragon Knight, so I did Vit. So do the, what do you call it? The Dragon Breath was based off of Vit, and then of course the Spiraling something. Ice Pick Manomite, yeah, good times, man. I never had an Ice Pick until much later on. I think honestly, like, I think Square Enix just test the market with their paid visual banners, and if they make a lot of sales, they'll try to push up for more, and they just keep doing it. I'll be honest, Zena, creating content for World Visions is pretty challenging. It's very challenging. Because you have to be careful what you say, right? I think I potentially put some people off because people were treating me as saying things that were wrong. When I know I wasn't wrong, it just seemed like the person that was trying to treat me that way was wrong. And he was just bashing people around. You put strength on your archer? Nice. You would think everybody would have put strength on the archer. You put strength on your archer so you can carry more items. Remember that? So you can increase You can increase your ability to carry more arrows. That was logical thinking. Come on, that was logical thinking, man. But I'm sure you were bashed. I'm sure your friends were making fun of you. All I gotta say is, listen, you have to have a pretty thick skin if you want to enter into the realm of content creation for anything. There's always going to be people bashing you regardless of what you do. I think the key is you just have to make sure you can absorb some blows and move on and get better, or you find your target audience and that's all you do. Come on. Mysidia Gaming essentially just says, oh look, new unit. Oh look, new vision card. Should you save or should you summon? And then of course, that's his video, right? Like, I think Nerd Knight is just like, hey guys, this is March of 2021. And these are all the different things that are coming. This is the way to prepare for these things. Essentially, that's what he does. And then of course you have other guys who do like specific coverage like, hey guys, this is a high level arena. This is all I'm doing. This is all I'm ever going to do, and this is all I'm doing. And to me, I love the idea that people are concentrating on something so specific, because you know what? It saves a lot of energy from other content creators having to worry about that. I don't have to worry about really making certain type of videos anymore, because there are people out there that are doing a much better job of it. And they're honing in on those type of content, and that's perfect for the community to progress and grow as a whole. I think that's awesome. I think personally, I enjoy that concept. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if I'm creating content for Ragnarok, since a lot of you are familiar with Ragnarok, and I just talk about blacksmiths. And that's all I talk about. I love blacksmiths, so anything and everything I do on my channel is blacksmith Ragnarok. Then essentially I have going to be cornering the market, my target audience, if you will, of that topic. And that's all I do. And people are like, oh, that is the expert on blacksmith. Go check out Nash Tater's Gaming's channel, because all he does is blacksmith coverage. And in the community itself, people are going to talk about you as you becoming an expert in something. And I feel like I'm not an expert in anything. And that's perfect for me, because I am not an expert on anything. So what I do is I try to cover all the general things. I'll give you my opinion on it, and I move on with my day. I'm happy with that type of content creation. I try to think of different types of things I can upload yeah, I think that's one thing you have to kind of start thinking about. Who are you trying to target in the community, right? You shouldn't try to target everyone, because you can't. You're probably learning that. And I've been learning this as I go. I agree, King. I think people love to see suffrage, man. Actually, not suffrage is not the right word. People love to see like agony, right? They're like, Nash Taters, you suck. You didn't get the unit that you want. But then they type in, oh, I feel so bad for you. I hope you get better luck. But then deep inside, like, yeah, that mother F never got what he wanted. And he's spending money. It's like when I heard about the digs trying to get that one card for the Shadowbringer card or something. People, I'm sure, were jumping up and, oh my god, did I just crash again? I crashed again, guys. I don't know what's going on. This is the second time I crashed during stream, by the way. This never happens. Like, the way I look at it is like, I enjoy summoning videos too, because I know people enjoy summoning videos. So that was one of the reasons why I'm going to keep going with my free-to-play account, because I can have additional content to show people about summoning. I'm going to start another room. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. But people love to see that. Like, you know, people do get happy with you if you do end up getting something good. But then most of the time they're like, he spent 50k gems and got nothing. People get happy. It is entertaining though, right? People love summoning videos. Like I think some of my best viewership is summoning videos. Yeah, I think the mentality is people get to watch other people either get happy or suffer, right? That's ultimately what it is. And that's why pulling summoning videos is so entertaining in gacha games, because gacha game is all about summoning. See if you hit the lottery or you basically just suck, right? Yeah, but Diggs definitely, like, since he's monetizing, he definitely probably make more money spending money. He'll probably make more. It is sad. It is quite sad that summoning videos are the most popular, but that's the case with all gacha games. I can't really venture to think too many subjects are makes for entertaining topics. Yes, I need to take a class where I can like create more expressions like like start doing more extreme expressions. I prefer the ones where content creators share their life stories. Well, there you go. I'm not sure if you're taking a jab at me, Clock, or you're actually complimenting me. Either way, I'm okay with it. Hey, Ketone, you don't have to ask. If you can get in here, get in here. If you can get in here, get in here. I'll wait for you here. There you go. I think I should start making more content where I just tell stories. Maybe that would be my little niche. I would just tell stories all day long. I'd be like, hey guys, this is what happened in War of the Visions yesterday. I logged in and I started hating life because I realized that I have not updated my equipment. So today when I decided to climb the porcelain tower, floor 31 to 40, I realized I'm gonna be hating life for the next 78 hours straight because I did not do what I've been telling people to do, and that is to build the proper armor sets and whatnot. See? And then I'll be like, and then today I went to the mall to look for a pair of shoes, but for some weird reason, this old lady was working at the store and she kept wanting me to try on different shoes. And I have this foot odor problem, so I decided I don't want to take off my shoes. But she's like, why don't you just take off your shoes and then I can put on these shoes on your feet? And I'm just thinking, listen, what is wrong with you? Do you have a foot fetish or something? And why are you working here, old lady? Don't you got like other things to do instead of working at the shoe store? But she kept telling me, listen, you need to take off your shoes so you can try on these different shoes. I have tons of shoes in the back. All you gotta do is give me your size and we'll try on the shoes. See, that's the story right there. I mean, don't you think that story right there alone can just get some views? Probably not, right? Because then how do I get people to click? How do I get people to actually click on the how do I get people to actually click on the video? I think that's my problem. I need more people to click on my videos. All I know is I'm sticking to my guns. It's like I want to adapt, but at the same time, I want to make sure I stick to who I am. I'm not gonna change stuff around to. You tell a story, I think your viewership will drop. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably should stop telling stories. I should only tell stories during stream. Hey, hey Quab, what about that one story that I told about how I was learning karate from an old man? And people's like, wait, isn't that the Karate Kid story? I wonder how many viewers I lost. I wonder how many subscribers did I lose. Get your fiance to join. Yeah, every time she joins, those videos, they do pretty well in terms of viewership according to my channel. Yes, that's a good idea. I should make that content where I split screen it. I don't know how I can do that. Essentially, I would have to do 2 videos and then split screen it. How do I do both? Maybe I can stream. I don't know if she'll enjoy streaming. Ketone, are you in here? Are you gonna come in? Ketone, calling Ketone. Ketone has Drain Life. Drain Force, excuse me. You tell story, I think your viewership would drop. I think I lost probably like 200 subscribers because they probably were angry at me for doing the Karate Kid imitation story. But I'll be honest, the Karate Kid story was the only one that I hijacked. All of my other stories were real. No, you're right. Quack, you actually missed this conversation earlier. I think it was from a few streams back too. I mentioned that there's this one girl that I watched a couple of videos of hers, and she has, well, let's just say there's a unit called Titus in this game, and she has Titus, and she wears low cut shirts to make sure that her Titus unit is, you know, is shown to her viewership. And of course, her thumbnails definitely shows her character Titus. And she talks about collecting Gundam figures, or I don't even call them figures. I call them, there should be like model kits, right? And so I clicked on it. Now, obviously, my first mentality was, wow, look at that character Titus. And so I clicked on it, and then of course when I scroll down to the comment, that's all everybody put. They say, when I see the unit Titus, I click. And people put, I'm a simple man. I see the character Titus, I click. You know, it's just what it is. No one's talking about Gundam in her videos, but she gets hundreds of thousands of views. And people found out that, sorry, Gunpla. So people found out that she's married. And everyone's all of a sudden just go, aww, right? And so obviously, I'm guessing that her husband put her up to this. I'm sure her husband is the collector, but he's thinking, how can I generate money on YouTube? I got it. Send my hot wife with the Titus character and talk about stuff that I already wrote a script for her to do, and boom, instant channel. Nash, your hair looking fly as hell. Thank you, Breaker. I know you're messing with me, but this hair is just naturally growing on its own. So I'll take everything as a compliment. Even if they're jabs at me, I'm all good with it. Silky smooth. And by the way, I have to be honest. Let's see, I'm pretty old. So I would say 20 years ago, I grew my hair all the way out, down to my shoulder. Right? I grew my hair all the way down to my shoulder. And this is the time where The Ring came out. I'm sure you guys all have seen the movie The Ring. And I've seen the Japanese version, and I tell you, that shit freaked me out so hard. We saw it at my friend's house, and when I was driving home, you know, my rear mirror, I tilt the rear mirror to the other side so I cannot see my back seat. And I refused to look at my side mirror because I knew that my imagination was gonna run wild and I was gonna see that bitch in my car. So, and then when I went home, I took my TV and I turned it so my TV is facing the wall instead of facing me. I did all of that because I was like really freaked out. Like for a whole week, I drove like that and I didn't really watch my television. And if I did watch my television, after I turn it off, I make sure I flip the TV to face the wall. Right? Anyways, I was growing my hair out. And there will be nights where I will get up to go to the bathroom. And as soon as I flick the light on, I see like myself in the mirror with all this long hair covering my face. And I tell you, I freaked out so many times. So eventually, of course, I cut my hair. But the real point of that story was, at that time I was working as a server at a restaurant, and you know, it's a college town, right? And this is not bragging, by the way. There are just literally tons of girls that would keep coming up to me, and they would be like, dude, look at your hair. It's so like, cause like my hair is very it's very shiny and it's very thick, because my hair is very, very thick. And they're like, oh my god, like your hair is so like shiny and like smooth looking. And they would just keep touching my hair. And it turns out, like, apparently when I grow my hair out, a lot of women get jealous of my hair because I guess it looks better than their hair. But then again, I don't put any like hair products in my hair. I don't put anything in my hair, you know? So it's like, it's very natural. I only put fruits and berries in my hair. Nothing but fruits and berries and juices. Right now, like, I took a shower, so it looks very like, when it's all like sitting by itself, I keep saying, I make that joke, you know, it's a stupid joke. I keep saying I'm K-pop Nash, but yeah, like, it does look like those guys you see on the pictures and TV, doesn't it? It looks like they just grow their hair out and make it look like a bundle, and then they cut the back. But you can see in the back of my hair, I look like I got a mullet going on. I was tempted to shave the side of my hair, so I do end up having like a mullet. You don't see too many Asian dudes with mullets. But I was thinking, if I did have a mullet, I might lose more viewership than I am losing. The light is bouncing off your hair. Yeah, that light is definitely... My hair is very shiny after I shower. It is. It really should. Funny you should talk about cutting hair. I'm just heading off to cut mine, you know, Chinese New Year coming. I know, Chinese New Year's is what? 11th of February? I gotta celebrate that. On this channel. You know, I was thinking, is Gumi gonna be celebrating Chinese New Year? Are they gonna do any Chinese New Year special? Isn't that what they say? A mullet, it literally is a party in the front and the back. I mean, come on, if you think about it, the mullet is actually quite well designed. The back is long to cover your neck from being red from the sunburn. There's some coverage on your forehead so you don't get sunburn. And then the side of it is shaved, so you do emit some of that heat that your head likes to, you know, concentrate in terms of holding your heat in, right? Because bulk of your heat escape from your hair, from your body, is through your head. Yeah, Chinese people are huge spenders. I should definitely do a Chinese New Year celebration, something. I gotta start brainstorming about that. The bleach bangs is the party in the front. I get it. Okay, I got you. I only dye my hair one time in my entire life, and I regretted it. I hated it. My friend unhooked the telephone line. I think you're thinking of The Grudge. Wasn't it The Grudge that the telephone, like that ghost girl was making noises through the phone? Either way, we saw The Ring, we saw The Grudge. I'm telling you, man, I don't like those type of things. Like the Asian horror movies, like with the girl with the dark hair and the white dress, those type of scenery freaks me out more than any other type of horror movies. Like, that's my no-no. I don't go do those. I watch these YouTube videos where people are trying to scare people with those those type of pranks. Oh boy, I tell you, man, if people try to prank me, they're gonna get a side kick to the face. I promise you that. They're gonna get a side kick right to the face. I don't care, you know, what they're trying to do to scare me. Here's how I look at it, right? You see a ghost like that, or you perceive it to be a ghost, you do a flying, leaping jump kick to their face. And what's gonna end up happening is one of two things. One, you kick that person in the face and it turns out it's a prank. Two, your foot goes through their body and at which point you know you're essentially gonna die. That's only two things. There's only two outcomes from those scenarios. And if either one occurs, you know that's it, right? You know that the prank is over or you're going to die. That's it. Yeah, like when I was watching The Grudge, I was like, this little kid has some really terrible makeup job. Like the girl was way more scarier than that little boy. If I see that little boy, I would just like to, well, I probably shouldn't say that on stream because then that would seem like I'm like I hit children, but I don't condone hitting children, by the way. But if I saw that kid as a ghost, it's the same concept. Instead of a flying leap kick to the face, I would just have to try to slap the kid, or I punch the kid, because obviously if somebody's trying to scare me, then I'll have to react somewhat, right? So if it's a ghost, I'm dead. If it's a little boy, then obviously teach him a lesson. Don't play pranks on people. By the way, I don't condone hitting people unless it's absolute necessary. Unless it's a video game. Actually, speaking of which, we're gonna be getting One Fist Boy next week. My free-to-play account is all about fire units, so I definitely have to do a summon session with that account to try to get Fireboy. But on my main account, I think I'm gonna have to skip. I'm so dirt poor. Look at this. I'm down to like almost no gem on this account. I'm gonna be skipping for a very long time until they give me more of those deals on those packs. You know, those like half off, 50% off packs. Then I might contemplate about summoning for something. Honestly though, I feel like I do enjoy making news videos. Because news videos, you just kind of talk about what you think about stuff. And essentially that is the video. Well, if some kids have a face that just makes you want to slap, then I don't know what to say to that, because I never thought about slapping kids. Like, even if I saw this bratty kid, I don't know if I really want to slap them, you know? I agree, Breaker Chrono. I feel the same way. Like, I'm pulling and I'm building units, and I'm still getting destroyed in Guild Wars. I don't understand it. And by the way, it's a big shout out to my guild. We have officially reached Champion League. We're in Champion. So yesterday we actually encountered Dig's guild. Apparently they made Champion too. So we faced off against each other. Like Linus when he's young? I don't know who Linus is. But you know what? The way I look at it is, if I can make it in Champion and get some wins here and there, it's all good. You know, it's all good. And if I get a lot of losses, it just simply means I need to make some adjustments. And I don't think the adjustments are going to be hard to make. It's just a matter of me wanting to make the adjustments. I'm slowly raising Ayaka now, like she's fully limit broken. I just need to get some affinity. Not affinity. Affinity. I need to get some affinity up. I need to get some resonances up. And I can start throwing her on my offense instead of Little Leela. Because like Little Leela is really good, but then she's so squishy. Like, generally speaking, she dies fairly fast. You know, it's so difficult to switch comps, by the way, because like right now I want to build a magic comp, but it's gonna take forever to level up all of those units to finally replace the comp that I have now. And it's It's just, nah, man. It's just too much work, you know? And it's not me complaining about the work. It's more like, as a content creator, I can't adapt fast enough to the game. Unless you spend literally like $5,000. And I don't know if that's something I want to do. I don't want to drop 5 grand. Like, I'd rather drop 5 grand and like other things, you know? But we'll see. I'm still messing around with DaVinci, the DaVinci Code, DaVinci Resolve. Like, it definitely seems like I can produce better products in terms of video editing. But it's gonna take a long time for me to figure out all the little in and outs of it. So I'm hoping to produce better videos in the long run. And I think if I get to the point where I'm not making as many videos as before, then I think I need to produce higher quality videos. Because making daily videos should be done so as a full-time YouTuber. And I realized that I may be spending too much time making YouTube videos. But you know, as they say, anytime you start anything new, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort in the beginning. And that could explain why perhaps Mysidia Gaming isn't putting out as many videos as before. Because essentially he found exactly the content he wants to create, which would be, should you save or should you summon? Actually, his is more like, should you pull or should you not pull, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months. We'll see how everything goes. I think a lot of things, it will be dependent on my job, because right now I need to work a little bit more than before. And I think I need to kind of like figure out in terms of scheduling and things like that, in terms with the content creation. Like, it really depends on how this 1-year anniversary plays out on global. I think this could be the final straw, if you will, for a lot of people. If they feel like it's poorly executed on global, we may see a decline, right? We'll see what happens, right? I mean, I'm ready to play this game for a long time. But if other people are not willing to, then I'm not gonna be like trying to do more than I need to. Hey, how's it going, Phillips? Indonesia, right? How is Indonesia? Anything I won from 1-year anniversary? Well, if we're following the exact same release as the JP server, I assume we're getting Final Fantasy X. So I think I'll go with Titus. Breaker, I just cleared my 40 today. I cleared it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, North American time. So 7 p.m. North American time. I clear floor 40. And I tell you, it was a pain in my ass to get from 31 to 40. I don't really know what I want from 1-year anniversary. I know we're going to be getting Titus, Yuna, and Auron, whatever his name is. Definitely don't care about Auron because I have too many good ice units. I think Yuna is a hit or miss, because essentially if you're going to invest in Yuna, you gotta have to think about the Bahamut card. And the Bahamut, well, essentially a Bahamut, right? Just, there's no card or Esper because it's one package deal. So you gotta invest in essentially both of them. And we're talking about what? 200,000 perhaps gems for that? How do you know I'm from Indonesia? Well, because Phillips Gaming, I've been watching your videos. In fact, I watched a video where you said something about like the Indonesia meta. I think I only watched that video actually. Yes, thank you, Phillips. Yes, thank you. Yes, I finally got Kyuufei after what? 5 months of release? That was rough. I even thought about buying a selector, which now I don't have to. And I thought about it. I don't need to buy a selector of any kind. I think Go Bez has been talked about if Final Fantasy IV returns. I think they talked about that. Which Final Fantasy character? I mean, this might sound cheesy, but I think I would like to see Tifa. I would definitely like to see Tifa, man. Because I tell you, Tifa looks pretty dope. And if she can make striking a legitimate thing, I'm all for it. Final Fantasy IX Beatrice. I think at this point, it's possible that they can literally bring any Final Fantasy in the future, and it will make people happy. But when I did a show and tell last time, you guys saw I have so many limited time units. Alright, this is going to be the last refill, and then I'm going to stop the stream. But I have so many limited units, I don't really foresee myself going hard on any more limited units. I'm not where Diggs is, you know. Diggs he's getting income, and I'm not sure if he's making a living off of it or he's just making money to support the game that he's playing. I don't exactly know what he's doing. And to be honest, it doesn't really make any difference. But what does make a difference to me is if the game keeps going and I keep playing this game and I keep creating content on this game and I start generating, you know, a few bucks here and there for this game, then I would like to spend it on the packs, right? And to keep it, and essentially it's an engine that feeds itself. But if the games start dying out, then I have to find alternative games to cover on my channel. And then essentially I may have to start from scratch again in terms of building player viewership, because a lot of you guys play this game and you probably are supporting me because you guys play this game. And if this game doesn't exist anymore and you still support the channel, it just means you're supporting me playing games in general. But you may not watch my streams because I'm not playing the game that you're playing, right? And I think that's end up what it is. So if I keep summoning, it will have to be for a purpose. Is it for the purpose of just for the channel, for content reasons? Or is it truly because I give a shit about these units that I want to add to my account to make me succeed in the game? And I honestly don't foresee needing more units. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. I do foresee needing more units, but are they going to be useful to the point where they're going to make anything different? Like, I beat Porcelain Tower with a lot of, like, I felt like it was high difficulty for me because I don't have a lot of quote-unquote necessary units for specific floors. I kind of just grinded through the whole thing with what I got. And I tell you, it's not a pleasant experience for the most part. So I feel like I need to just go back and start working and concentrating on my units and concentrating on my crafting. I think I'll have a much easier time when floor 41 to 50 comes, right? But then I think about it. Is Yuna gonna really make my game easier? Is Titus, is any of those units? And the answer is no. Because what floor 31 and 40 has shown to me is that the game wants you to just grind it out with everything you got. All those units are immune to disable, they're immune to stop, they're immune to a lot of the CCs that is more powerful in PvP. So I was relying on sleep, I was relying on my sleep sword, I was relying on actually maneuvering my units around from a logical standpoint. I was actually strategizing for once. And I was thinking, man, I'm not really sure I'm enjoying that aspect because it's asking too much of me for such little reward. And so I was thinking the rest of the game is fairly easy, right? Like the story is easy, farming is easy, PvP is kind of whatever. And so then exactly I asked myself, then what exactly am I doing in this game? Am I really going to collect all 110 monsters like in Pokemon? And the answer will be no, I'm not going to. But I think what I have going on for me logically doesn't make sense. I have too many slash units, which the bulk of them were useless in this tower encounter. So if that's the case, then I need to go back and reassess my roster and figure out, okay, what do I need to make a little bit stronger? And I've learned mages are very powerful in this game. I've learned that tanks are a must. And I've also learned that supporting units are 100% must. So it's all about healing, it's all about tanking, and it's all about massive amounts of burst damage, which is what a lot of the mages offer. So if that's the case, then a lot of us have been playing this game just because we love a unit, we get it. That's just a very casual approach to looking at the game. If you truly want to min-max everything, then you got to start honing in on specifics of this game for you to be successful in everything, which includes PvP, arena, and match play. And to me, that is a lot of brain power, a lot of work. So I have to reevaluate how I'm going to approach this. Am I going to approach it me enjoying the game, or am I going to approach it from a content creator's perspective, right? You can't really have both. I realize you can't really have both unless you spend a lot of money. And I think this is why Diggs is doing what he's doing. And I think this is why Cabbage is doing what he's doing. And this is why those two have the most number of subscribers, because they realize you have to spend a lot of money to, one, enjoy the game the way you want to enjoy it, so to speak, and two, get the content creation going, because you have to spend money to create a specific content, right? Like someone mentioned in the chat earlier, if you spend no money, it's going to be very tough for you to create content that everyone can want to watch. Most people like to watch other people spend money. That's just the human nature in us. And I don't think I want to keep dropping, hundreds of dollars on this game when I realize, to me, that value may not equate to what I want from this game. So we'll see. I'm not like speaking in terms of like I'm burned out or I don't want to progress forward. I'm just speaking in terms of this Porcelain Tower section has really made me re-evaluate the game. Like it makes me that I feel like I need to go back and re-evaluate what exactly I'm doing. And so I got to figure that out. Until I figure that out, there's not many units that I'm looking forward to or thinking about going forward in the future. Hopefully that answered your questions, because I know you guys all ask me these questions and I'm like, it's so hard for me to just give you a straight answer. I have to kind of like give you the philosophical aspect of it, if that makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to see a lot of units come to this game, a lot of characters, but unfortunately I just don't think I can afford to buy them all, like it's hard. What game are you playing other than WTB? I'm looking for a game to play. Phillips, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 online. Have you done EX40 Tower? No, I have not. You don't need a lot of mages to finish 40. You need a lot of mages to get rid of the first wave on 40. I don't even want to do any of the EX stuff because I think they're easy skips. The amount of materials they give you for free, to me, is not worth it. Not worth my time. So, yes, I got into watching new content to see streamers spin hunters when I cannot. Exactly, Bricker. That makes perfect sense. Why would I want to watch somebody who's a free-to-play, to be honest? And this is not a rant against free-to-play players. It's just there's nothing for me to see. Like, there's literally nothing for me to see. They're not summoning anything, and they're not like cracking skulls with these elite units with these elite gear, right? Everyone want to see that. Everyone wants to see that on screen because it's something that not all of us can obtain. So those people who are spending thousands upon thousands of dollars are going to be the ones that have more subscriber base because they all want to see what they cannot accomplish on their own, perhaps. But that's just me. That's just me watching years of YouTube, watching years of streamers, and watching and playing years of gacha games. It's unfortunate that I chose a gacha game to be my very first game, if you will, to cover on YouTube, but it is what it is, right? No need to spend. Being free to play will be tough, but content worthy, like Conical Green and FGO. I mean, well, here's the thing, right, IML? FGO is a different animal, right? It's a different concept because that game is super hard to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and have everything. It's very hard. But as a free to play, you can just simply level up 3-star units and still beat the game. You can still create content. That's not my point. My point is anyone can create content. If I want to just create a content where all I do is farm all day long, I just stream where I just hang out with everybody and just farm shit all day. That's a content. That's content. I may not have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but at least I will be consistent enough that everybody knows, hey, by the way, Nash is going to be farming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you guys want to have a room chat with him, you know, go for it, right? You should stream FF14 or reaction videos to FF14 scenes. Yes, I plan on doing that. In fact, I actually streamed FF14 yesterday. So, but, you know, it's a lot of work. Like, for those of you who don't create content, YouTube itself is just tons of work. It's tons of man hours spent. And I realized by creating content on the game, I dedicate half of my day to create content and then the other half playing the game. But then I realized this is not my main job. I have so many other things I need to take care of in my life. And I think this is why I'm hitting like a sort of like a stranglehold, like a fork in the road type of situation. So I gotta kind of to reevaluate a lot of my priorities, if you will. And just think, I don't have any kids. When I have kids, my channel will probably be evolving to something else. Yes, it is time to say goodnight, folks. I'm sorry. This is the last run. So this is the last run. So hopefully I want everyone to know that, hey, I'm still gonna be doing streaming most of the time. I'm still gonna be creating content. I'm gonna be doing the 1-year anniversary stream, I think, with Diggs and a bunch of other content creators. So there's a lot of stuff coming. Of course, Chinese New Year's around the corner. And I have to kind of figure out on my spenders account what I want to accomplish in terms of the units I want to build. And of course, what kind of more content I want to create for this channel in terms of stuff that makes sense, right? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing now, but I think I have to kind of make some adjustments. So that's that. But anyways, thank you for everybody for coming tonight. And hopefully you guys are going to see a little bit more out of me in terms of just making sure I do things right. I think I've been trying to push too much content out, and a lot of it is not being worthy content, you know? And maybe I just need to start trimming the fat going forward in the future. Kind of like what a lot of the content creators are doing. Start trimming the fat off and then have a nice juicy steak. All right. I think that should end the stream nicely for you guys. Thank y'all for coming. We will see you guys on Monday, most likely. All right. Take care, guys.